Not Too Late at 58, the podcast for those of a certain age who say, yes, why not? Hello and welcome to this podcast series called Not Too Late at 58, to start your own business. I'm Annie Weir and I turned a lifetime dream into a reality when I was 58, when I finished and published my first novel. So I'm living proof that it is not too late at 58. Hence the name and hence my new passion to help other people of a certain age to achieve their ambitions. And just a couple of things to make clear. You don't actually need to be 58, of course. You don't actually need to want to write a novel, although it is the ambition of a lot of people, and I will tackle that in a future series of podcasts. And many people I speak to say they wish they'd started their own business when they were younger. And I say, well, why not do it now? It's not too late at 58 to start your own business. This series of 10 episodes will address some aspects of starting your own business. And future series, as I say, will include novel writing, business book writing, and getting your training sessions online. So if you'd like to know more about me and Not Too Late at 58, just hop back to the first episode of the first series. This episode is called Your Customer. And when I say customer, I mean customer and not customers. When I ask my business startup clients who they're going to sell their products to, they often say, well, anyone really, or anyone who wants to buy. And whereas it is true that anyone can buy their product if they want or need to, and can afford to, of course, it's quite different saying who you're going to sell your product or your service to. Marketing organisations have been profiling ideal clients or ideal customers for many years. By knowing who you're talking to in your adverts, on your website, on your Facebook page, etc., you can use the type of words that your ideal client or your ideal customer uses. You can use the colours that appeal to him or her, and you can make them think that you're speaking directly to them as an individual. So what we're going to do in this podcast episode is to show you how to analyse who your ideal customer is and identify exactly what they want or need from you. And of course, I have a download for you to help with this process. So you might want to pause now, click on the link below the podcast and come back to it, or do it later, that's fine. And by the end of this podcast episode, you'll know how to get to know your ideal client really well and be able to describe him or her in detail. And you will therefore be more confident that you're going to be offering him or her exactly what they need in order to solve their problem, make them feel happy or less worried about something. In other words, you'll know exactly why your business matters to that person and how you're going to help them. So I'll introduce you to my ideal customer for Not Too Late at 58 to start your own business. She is completely fictional, by the way. She's called Gail Sutton. She's 58 years old, married with 3 children. Her youngest will be leaving home soon, and with just her and her husband and the old cat, she feels that now is the time for her to start her own business. And she has a pretty clear idea of what she wants to do, but is a bit nervous about going it alone as she's never written a business plan before. She wants to kind of be sure that she has a good chance of succeeding in this new venture before she leaves her job. She has a job as a nurse and she's worked in a hospital for most of her adult life. And she used to love her work, but now she finds it quite tiring and very bureaucratic. She doesn't get the same job satisfaction, and it feels less like helping ill people and more like completing paperwork all day. But it's a secure job and she could easily work through to retirement. But, she wants more from her working life. She feels like there's more that she's not really getting from her work. So that's just the start or an extract from my ideal client profile. I know a lot more about this fictitious person. And as I said, I don't know anyone called Gail Sutton or any nurses actually, but I bet there is something in there that resonates with you. Maybe you share her sense of frustration at the 9 to 5, or share her fear of missing out. So let's do this now, while there is still time. And successful businesses spend a lot of time and effort specifying their ideal client. And, as I said before, anyone can buy what you're offering, but you can't craft a marketing plan based on attracting anyone and everyone. You need to get specific. And I've just looked again at the Sport England website, at the profiles they've done of people who live in my area and who might like to play tennis. So Sport England is a national organisation trying to get more people to play sport. And I'm the chair of my local tennis club, so it's of interest to me and to the committee when thinking about attracting new members to the club. So it tells me how many 30-something males there are in the area. So they've picked one to personify this type of person. He's a 30-something who they've named Tim. He also likes cycling and going to the gym. So I'm likely to attract that type of person by advertising in the gym with a smart poster with an image of fit young men playing tennis. They also say that Tim enjoys an element of competition in his sport. So mentioning the in-house league, for example, would be attractive to him too. Sport England have got another ideal profile of, actually it's a couple, Ralph and Phyllis, who are in their 60s. So you see they're using names that reflect the age of the person or the couple that they've got in mind. Ralph and Phyllis are in their 60s and they aren't interested in hard competition. They would like to play tennis. They used to play before, but they want to get back to it. But with people their own age for a little bit of exercise and social reasons. Now, they listen to the local radio and they read the local newspapers from cover to cover. So if I was wanting to attract more retired people, that would be a better way for me to target them. That doesn't mean I'm going to turn anybody away. If a young mum turns up with children who want to join as a family, brilliant, come and join. Or if teenagers turn up, I'm definitely not going to turn them away. It's just that when I'm actively seeking new members, when I'm actively thinking where to advertise and market, I need to know where to target the potential type of new members that I'm looking for. So if you're thinking of starting a business, it's time to do your ideal client profile. Please download the handout. The first page has a picture of a client or customer, and the following pages have the more traditional pen picture type format of asking questions for you to answer about who your ideal client is. And if it's a service you're offering, if you're running your own business, why wouldn't you work with people who you really want to work with? So this is central to a marketing plan, a successful marketing plan, which we will look at later in this podcast series. And you can test out your findings later with a survey or other methods as well that we'll discuss later. But you really do need to do this as your starting point. So don't skip this part. I'll leave it with you as an action point for this podcast. And in the next podcasts in this series, I'll cover some other things that need to be in a business plan. So I'll see you next week and we'll think about your competitors. So bye for now.